October 15th, 1992, a verdict was delivered in a courtroom in Ukraine. A 56-year-old man stood accused of over 50 murders, crimes involving sadism, necrophilia, and even cannibalism, committed over more than a decade. His name was Andrei Chikatilo, and he would become known as the Butcher of Rostov. But what makes this case even more disturbing is not just the crimes, it's how long he got away with them. Chikatilo was born in 1936 in what is now Ukraine. His childhood was shaped by war, famine, and violence. Food was scarce. His mother told him stories of starvation so extreme that people turned to cannibalism. Whether these stories were true or not, they stayed with him. As a child, he witnessed the horrors of war, dead bodies, destruction, fear. But something about him was off. Those scenes didn't just terrify him, they excited him. As he grew older, Chikatilo was described as shy, weak, and deeply insecure. He was mocked, humiliated, rejected, and most importantly, he suffered from sexual impotence, something that would later become central to his crimes. As an adult, he became a teacher, but even then, the warning signs were there. Students reported inappropriate behavior, touching, watching, obsession. Twice, he was accused of sexual misconduct involving children. Twice, the incidents were covered up. He was quietly dismissed. No investigation, no consequences. Then, in 1978, everything changed. A 9-year-old girl named Yelena Zakotnova disappeared. 2 days later, her body was found. She had been brutally murdered. Witnesses had seen Chikatilo with her, but the police dismissed him. Instead, they arrested another man who was later executed for the crime, an innocent man. And while the wrong man paid the price, Chikatilo was free. In 1981, he killed again, a 17-year-old girl. This time, the violence escalated. Stabbing, mutilation, organs removed. From that point on, he didn't stop. For over a decade, Chikatilo hunted his victims, children, teenagers, women. He would lure them with promises, money, food, shelter, or even something as simple as movies. Then he would lead them into isolated areas, usually forests. What happened next was always brutal. He stabbed his victims repeatedly. He mutilated their bodies. Sometimes he bit and consumed parts of them. Because of his impotence, he used violence as a substitute for sexual gratification. The act of killing, the sight of blood, was what aroused him. In some cases, he even removed the eyes of his victims, not out of rage, but fear. He believed they could somehow still see him. Despite dozens of murders, he was arrested multiple times and released. Over and over again, the system failed, investigations were rushed, evidence was ignored. Authorities were more concerned with maintaining the image of a perfect society than finding the truth. Finally, in 1990, after his last known murder, everything caught up to him. Witnesses saw him leaving the scene. A police officer stopped him near a train station. His clothes were stained with blood. This time, there was no escape. He was arrested on November 20th, 1990. Inside his briefcase, a knife, rope, Vaseline. He confessed, not out of remorse, but because he believed he was sick. During his trial, Chikatilo behaved erratically. He pretended not to understand Russian, a language he once taught. He exposed himself in court. He made disturbing comments to women in the room. But the most chilling detail? When he described his crimes, he trembled. Not from fear, not from regret, from desire. On October 15th, 1992, he was sentenced to death. He was executed on February 14th, 1994. In total, he was convicted of over 50 murders, but the real number may be even higher. What makes this case truly terrifying is not just the man, it's the system that allowed him to continue, that ignored the warning signs, that executed an innocent person, while the real killer remained free. Sometimes the monster isn't just the one committing the crimes, it's everything around him that lets him get away with it.